If you follow me on any sort of social media platform, you know I spent a lot of time in the Marine Corps. You know, one of those things growing up that we always wanted to do, me and my buddies. I grew up in the country, so we were always shooting and playing war and, you know, doing those things. And then my junior year of high school, I joined the delayed entry program, which then you can go to, you know, drill and practice and learn all this stuff. And then when you turn 18 or graduate high school, you leave for the service. So when I graduated high school, I think 4 days after that, I left for San Diego, went to boot camp. I had a good time. I love the Marine Corps. First duty station was Quantico, Virginia. I started off in corrections, which I didn't particularly care for. Worked a maximum security prison for the first 3 years. Some people like that type of environment. I did not. I was young and just, you know, not mature enough for it. So dealing with that certain percent of the populace that are criminals and rapists and murderers didn't appeal to me. I did that for 3 years, and then in '97 I moved over to the military police side. I really enjoyed that. So that was patrol work, you know, driving the squad car, guarding the gate, you know, responding to calls. I did that for a couple years, and then I moved over to investigations and really found a home there. Started off still at Quantico. We went to Japan for a year. I worked for NCIS, you know, like the TV show, but we don't solve all of our crimes in an hour. Did that, so did federal work for a while. That was a good time, so you're working higher end crimes, your rape, murder, robbery, carjacking. A lot of times people don't think that they have the same level of crime on a military installation that you do out in town. But some of these bases, like when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, there's like, what, 70,000 people on that base. So you get your rapes and your murders and your robberies and your suicides and carjackings and a lot of drug use. So it was, I don't want to say nice to work those type of crimes, but it was very fulfilling because you could help the victims, you help them get closure, you find the perpetrator, you can watch that through the judicial system to see them go to jail, to see their punishment. I did investigations for a long time, numerous different bases. I was stationed in Japan, I was stationed in Beaufort, South Carolina, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I did a little bit of a stint on recruiting duty, which really taught me a lot about sales. Did 3 years of that in Minnesota, so that was pretty cool. Got to meet a lot of nice people and then see those people that you put in the Marine Corps 5 and 10 years later that are still making a career out of it. Nice to see that. I still have some friends that I remember putting in the Marine Corps that, you know, had a successful career and we're still friends. But got my degree when I was in criminal justice, finished out in investigations, transitioned from there. But I think probably the biggest thing, we were just having a conversation Tuesday night at Trap. One of the guys I shoot with is a former Marine as well. And I asked him, I said, do you miss it? And he says, you know what, I don't miss a lot of the stuff. He goes, but I miss the people. And I'll tell you what, some of the friends that I have, my lifelong friends, you know, Dave, I've known him since '94. Shane, I've known since '07, but we're just lifelong friends. They're brothers to you. They've gone through the same thing. Either we've deployed together to Afghanistan or we were in another foreign country together. So we shared a lot of the same hardships together, which really bring a bond and a brotherhood to that. So every year I make it a point to go down and, you know, and see Dave and spend a couple days with him and do some hunting and then sit in the tree stand for a couple days with Shane and drink some bourbon and smoke cigars and just catch up about family and friends and the time we served together. So the friends you make, like when I was in Afghanistan in 2010, completely different world there. You know, you really have to learn quickly, especially if you're in a leadership position because people are entrusting their lives to you, so there's a learning curve and it's quick. And things over there move a lot faster than they do here. So you're in a wartime, you know, area. Not everybody's friendly towards you, but the friends and the memories that you gain there, I am friends with so many people I deployed with to this day. Some are realtors in California, some are accountants now, some are still in the service. Some have gone off and gotten, you know, jobs and careers that are completely different than what they did, you know, in the military. One of my friends, James, was a machine gunner on top of a Humvee, you know, and now he's doing computer IT work, something completely different from that. But when we sit down and have a beer and we talk about the good old times of Afghanistan, we're remembering those memories. and then we can still catch up and talk about things today. So I highly encourage anybody that wants to serve, that I think should go in the military. You pick your particular branch that serves you best. I chose Marine Corps, that was my path, and I don't regret that. I would never have gone another branch, but a lot of them have some great opportunities. College is one of them. You know, if you have an opportunity, they pay for your college while you're in, and then you get the GI Bill or the post 9/11 when you're out. I used my GI Bill to get my master's after I got out, so those benefits still translate over. I get health care from the VA because of my time in the service. That saves you a lot of money in trying to buy, health insurance. So there are definitely some benefits, not to mention the personal development ones, discipline, professionalism, patience. You learn a lot of those traits as you transition through the service and different jobs, and they stick with you forever. It's not like I'm gonna sit there and recite my general orders every day from 1994, but you do think about leadership positions and some of the things that you're entrusted to do and some of the roles that you play, and they're super important, and those transition into the business world well. You've got to have discipline, you got to have motivation and drive, you have to have tact when dealing with people. I'd love to say that you could just yell at everybody you disagree with, but you can't. We've got to find a way to communicate to other people. Networking is very big. In the Marine Corps, you found ways to network with individuals. If you needed something done, we found that in Afghanistan a lot. I need something from you, how can I help you? Let's sit down over a cigar and solve a problem. But you find that a lot today in business. If you can't communicate with people, especially buyers and sellers. I'm in real estate, I have to communicate and work with people, and I love helping people, but most of those traits were ingrained, at an early age from my time in the service. So I highly encourage it. If you have an opportunity to join, I definitely think you can, and it can be later on in life. I know they have age cutoffs, but not everybody has to join at 18 like I did. Sometimes you can wait till you're 25 and 30 to join after you had a career and now you want something different. So I just want to share my experience that way.